Hey dudes, welcome to Splat from the Past, the only 80s themed horror and sci-fi show where things can get totally radical. Now today, I am just so fucking excited for today's podcast because I am going to be interviewing a guy that I've been trying to get on the podcast since the very beginning, a guy who has been in so many 80s cult classics, Cameron Dye. Yes, Cameron Dye, the guy from such classics as Valley Girl, The Last Starfighter, National Lampoon's Joy of Sex, Fraternity Vacation, Scenes from the Gold Mine. I mean, so many classics. Men at Work with Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez. I mean, this guy has an impressive resume of cult classics. Having him on the show today to talk about all those movies, his current work that he's doing now, lots of stuff like that, because I've interviewed so many of his co-stars, and now I get to hear things from his perspective, and I can't wait. Oh my god, this is going to be just so fucking awesome, like I said. And he's a San Mateo boy, Millbrae to be exact, and I think that's what attracted him to replying back to me after I reached out to him on Facebook. So we'll get into all that stuff. So here is my interview with Cameron Dye. Hey Cameron.
Tommy, how are you?
I am great. How are you, sir?
I'm doing okay. Just getting on the road here. So, what do you want to talk about?
Well, first off, welcome to the show, and this is such a great honor. Thank you for taking the time today.
Oh, it's a pleasure. I'm just coming off of, I'll get into what I'm doing here, but...
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Invite me into your home. Tell me what you're doing today. Let's start with you.
Nothing, just podcasting and just chilling around the house.
Okay. All right. And you a San Mateo resident yourself? You've been there for a while?
I was born and raised there. I left in 2017. I was there my whole life until 2017.
And you just had to come back?
I live in Redding, California.
Oh, you're in Redding now. Okay, I get you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, enough about you. Let's talk about me.
Okay.
Tell me what you want to know.
Okay. So, going back in time, did you gravitate toward acting early on in your childhood?
I was always kind of between music and acting. I actually, my two fascinations growing up were rock and roll and politics. I really wanted to be president. I think when Bobby Kennedy got shot, that kind of changed my game plan a little bit. And if you think about, the bridge between rock and roll and politics, Bobby Kennedy, if you know anything about him, kind of had that bridge. I mean, he had this pop star kind of charisma about him. And even to this day, I think he would have made a great president. I mean, he just had a special light about him, but also kind of appealed to, he appealed to the youth. And I took note of that, I think, as a kid. I got into the Beatles, I was 4 when the Beatles first played Ed Sullivan. And, a brief history of my rock and rollness was, we moved a lot growing up, and I was in Minnesota when I was a kid, and my mom had all these records. They were her roommates. They were like 45 that you put on you'd stack, back then you used to stack them up on a spindle and just let them drop and let them play, and I would go down in the basement and get on a rocking horse and just thrash. So it was like Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis and Everly Brothers, Sam Cooke, all these, and records my mom couldn't stand. They were her roommates. She wound up with them. I think it's part of the reason why I love them so much.
Yeah.
And the basement there had this great reverb, so I was all primed when the Beatles came out on Ed Sullivan. I was like, that. And so any of those bands that followed them every Sunday, the Animals and all those British invasion bands, loved that stuff. But then, had this innate, love of politics. John Kennedy got shot when I was like 4. That was a thing. I mean, I think that's when I first learned what dying was. I had this big funeral, and consequently, I would, I'd play Army Men in my room, and the big deal was always the funeral. It was really a big funeral because I'd seen it on TV. John Kennedy, get my dad's cufflink box. They'd all kind of circle around that for 3 days, and my parents would lead friends through the house. They'd see this morbid setup on my, I'm sidetracking here. But so anyways, something about reaching people, making a difference, I think was in my head, and, got way into movies early on. So when I came out to California when I was 16, got more into acting. There was a teacher I had I went to school in Millbrae High School. A very special teacher there, a guy by the name of Alan Knight, who was just phenomenal, and got me going on that. I'd seen the Rolling Stones that summer, so I wanted to be Mick Jagger. I came out to California with that intention. But I got to doing plays with him, got kind of charged up on that. I knew I could go to school for that. It was literally for me down to joining a band and going on the road or going to UCLA. And I chose to go to UCLA. I thought, well, my lifespan might be a little longer if I do this, go this way. Only to prove that is kind of, it really made no difference at some point in my life. But so that's it. And I, all along, I've kind of gone acting, music acting. I kind of pit one against the other, which is dumb. I'm doing this now. I can't do that. But now, as I've settled into older years, I'm like, no, you can do it all. I'm looking at my son now who does everything. I'm like, you know what? Do it all.
Yeah. Why not? I went to San Mateo High School, and I won my one and only wrestling trophy at Mills High School.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well, I can't remember. It's funny because I played some sports myself. We came to California from Toledo. Mm-hmm. I was there like 7th grade to 16, and it really kind of shifted me from, I played sports. I played football, so everybody's bigger than me, and I stopped that because I was going to be killed.
Yeah. Sports was...
This was in Toledo, and once I came out to California and started doing plays, that kind of replaced the whole sports thing for me. So, and sports were different. Sports were, looked at different in California as opposed to, in Ohio, football game. Everywhere was a football game on Friday night. It was a thing, basketball game.
Yeah. Midwest,
because it just wasn't as much to do back there.
Yeah.
Everybody kind of built their lives around, the Friday night game.
Yeah. So I was reading that when you got to LA, you attended UCLA, and then you were one of the co-founders of the Actors Gang.
Yeah, it was funny, co-founder. Jim Robbins was really his brainchild, I'll say. When we were in college, so Tim was there at the same time. A few other guys in the Actors Gang who were still prominent. But when I went to UCLA, it was kind of built on a reputation that existed some years prior. So I'd say that, a lot of what I learned within the theater department, where I was a major, was, I'll say 50% was from my peers. We had some really good, talented people at the time. Tim was there. Ed Solomon, who's wrote
Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted. He wrote Men in Black. He's done pretty good. Shane Black, who's written Just Kiss, Kiss, Bang, Bang for one, but the Die Hard movies. Not Die Hard. Mel Gibson and Danny Glover.
Lethal Weapon.
Series.
Lethal Weapon.
Yes. So we had, across the board, great writers, great directors, good actors, and we had those facilities to work in. So typically, Tim started writing things, very kind of politically bent or socially provocative pieces that we would put up when we were at school. And then when we got out of school, kind of needed to find a place to do them. So that's how the Actors Gang kind of formed, and kind of, would rent a theater here, there, to eventually got our own space in Culver City. No, I'd say we had a first space in West Hollywood, and then moved to Culver City, where we've been for 10 years now. Mm-hmm. So I was I'm founder, yes. I was there at the beginning and produced things, and then, I got busy different periods during the course of the gang's history. So I've been in and out. Yeah. More what I do with them these days is prison work, where I'm just coming from now. different company. So yeah, still involved with the gang, yeah, that was really kind of my hand in it, was to kind of being there at the beginning and being in whatever we were doing at the time, getting that going.
Yeah, are you glad it's still around?
Well, I am, because it's the great thing about the Actors Gang. I mean, it's a theater company that survived, 38 years now. Mm-hmm. That's because we got out of school. Both Tim and I graduated at the end of '81. So really, that was when the Actors Gang was, searching for its own home. It goes through changes every year. There's new people coming in, so it's always a different flow of, I'll say the dominant 30, 40 people, who are there doing the production, holding it up. I got into the prison work. The prison work started with the Actors Gang about 10 years ago. And at this point, I think we're up to 13, 14 prisons within the state of California. It's something we're really proud of. When the Actors Gang also teaches in schools, besides doing the plays that we do, which are still, the initial idea of the Actors Gang was to put on plays that made people think, got them to kind of scratch their heads a little bit. Certainly with a political bent, typically, hopefully that would ask themselves questions. We preach our own choir a lot, have through the years. But still with that attitude, and the initial attitude too was, we were all into punk rock and they just wanted to be kind of in your face with it. And initially it was very testosterone, it was about guys. And eventually, it includes the women. So it's grown as a company, as a style.
Yeah.
And the style that we teach in prison is based in an old form called Commedia dell'arte, where in the old days, a brief explanation was that 500 years ago in Italy, it was a form of street theater designed to poke fun at the rich. There were 14 stock characters within this form. And so many plays, and The Simpsons is a great example. The characters in The Simpsons they're all based on these stock characters. There's a rich miser couple, like Mr. Burns, let's say, Mr. Pinloney. They have the beautiful daughter who's in love with the field hand, the guy from the wrong side of the tracks. They can't stand him. They want her to marry the war hero who was actually hiding behind a rock when his, company won the big war. And, so they all have these quirks. And the servants, there's different ones of those. Yeah. They kind of run everything. They know everything. So when we go into, and the Actors Gang still continues to train in that style. Not every play is done in that style, but we train in it, and we go into prisons, and we have those guys do it. And they, make a mask on their face. Typically, the real form, you wear a mask through the eyes. Yeah. It's a heightened form of theater, and you're one of four states of emotion. You're happy, sad, angry, afraid, all the time. And not just a little. You're like ecstatic, you're terrified, you're desperate, you're, what's the other one? That's angry. So we have them work in that state. It's really good for rehabilitation. In essence, they kind of learn to play their emotions, so their emotions don't play them. And if they're getting out, there's a much better chance that they'll stay out because they have a better sense of self. And if they're not getting out, then chances are they have a better sense of being of service within the facility they're in. So that's a brief word about the Actors Gang's prison process. But otherwise, the plays continue to be brilliant. And if you're anywhere near Culver City, come.
Yeah.
By the Actors Gang. That's my pitch.
I'll check it out next time. So being in the punk rock, that must have came in handy when you got cast in Valley Girl.
Yeah, it's funny because I was more like a Rolling Stones guy, like all those bands that I mentioned. I won't say a meat and potatoes, but Tom Petty when he came out. I mean, I'll say the '80s kind of split a lot of, rock and roll went in a lot of different directions. Yeah. There was new wave, there was punk, there was
hair metal.
The thing about Valley Girl was that there really wasn't that big of a difference between what the Valley listened to and what Hollywood listened to. That was more or less created by Martha, the director, but it really, the clothes. I mean, we kind of made a statement there with, okay, the real difference, and of course the language, the Valley lingo and all that. But I always say it's like, anybody who's never seen it's like, hey, you know what? It's Romeo and Juliet in LA in 1983. Think of it that way.
Yeah.
And you can't miss with that story. I mean, it works, West Side Story, whatever form you put it in, I think.
Yeah.
But, we did have a good group of people. Everybody was young and hungry, never done anything, and it was done for a very low budget, and had a lot of heart. To this day, I'm glad it holds up. I just saw it not so long ago. I hadn't seen it on a big screen since I think the first time I saw it when it came out. I took my son, so that was a good perspective.
Yeah.
See it through his eyes a little bit.
Yeah. Did it go over his head?
No, not at all. My son was very worldly. He's 19 now. This was a couple of years ago, I think, when he was 17. So he was actually a prime age to see it.
Yeah.
Although most people I talked to said, when I was 13, 12, it was even a cooler movie if you were 13 and these guys were already in high school, I remember those movies growing up.
Yeah. I interviewed Heidi Holliker a couple of years ago, and she just did she did the remake that's coming out in May. I love the scene. I love the scene where you say to her, "So, how's your mother?" And she's like, "She's dead."
A bunch of those, I remember Heidi was not into that.
Yeah, she told me.
That either I'd actually said or had happened to me, or, Valley Girl was my first movie, and I didn't know, you could create your own dialogue here and there. And,
yeah.
Because, coming from the theater world, everything is written, scripted. You cannot deviate a word. That's kind of like an unspoken rule. But with film, and depending on who who wrote it and who the director is, but we were very encouraged to kind of, be loose with it. And so, a lot of those pickup lines of threads I threw in. And I remember Heidi had an issue with that, and because it did. I mean, it dictated a lot about her character. It was like, okay, my mom, is she really dead? We were like deep into that stuff. It's like, does that mean for real, or just get lost, or...
Yeah.
Anyway, we had fun.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Did you have a feeling that Nicolas Cage would become a huge star?
I didn't. I mean, I didn't know. But I knew he was different because we read together. Before getting it. Martha was great, and then she read people together. Smart directors do that. Not many do it, but they'll read actors with actors. Usually you're opposite somebody with a piece of paper, kind of reading off the page, and you create the whole thing. But what Martha really grabbed with that movie was the chemistry between people, or groups, who was who to who, and we really we rehearsed it too, which is rare because of the budget we had, and back then. We shot on film, and Martha had a bunch of stock footage, in other words, scraps of film that could still be used, and she knew she only had so many takes to get things in, so we had it all kind of rehearsed when we showed up on whatever set to, blast through it.
Yeah.
So in a lot of ways, I got spoiled by Martha, like, wow, of course you rehearse, and of course you read with actors, and but going back to Nick, we read together early on, and I could just see there was something different about him. He was a different guy. I really enjoyed him. We didn't, beyond Valley Girl, we run into each other a few times over the years, but not much. But it was a good time that we had at the time.
That's great. And then you had a small part in the classic space opera, The Last Starfighter.
Oh, yes. Well, Lance Guest is a good friend of mine. Still. We went to UCLA together. We played The Last Starfighter. And that was, I think I read for The Last Starfighter, but a couple of us who were like, Jeff Blake was another guy that we just threw us in the back of the truck and said, here, you want to show up for a day? And I needed the dough. And so the boss said, yeah. So, yeah, I always forget I'm in that movie because I'm in it, very briefly. But, yeah, fun. And another one that I just recently saw, because that had kind of an anniversary recently, so.
Yeah, Kathy Stewart, she's been on the podcast 4 times, and she's become a great friend of mine. I love her.
Oh, good. I do too. And I see her every so often through Lance, really. But yeah, love her, love to her. And we did Scenes from the Gold Mine together.
Another one
was later.
Yeah.
And, it was not highly visible, but a lot of fun. It was a rock and roll. I describe it as like a rock and roll soap opera.
Yeah.
Film, but it had a great cast, and the music was good. With good people. Joe Paniano was in it. Who else?
Jules Shepard
from the Eagles was in the band. He was a bass player. John Portoli. Steve Rail's back, great actor from The Stuntman. I just watched that the other night.
And
Steve Ing from Fear.
Right. And Jules Shepard. Jules Shepard.
Yes, Jules Shepard.
Yep.
I ran into her not so long ago. Yeah, it was crazy. Alex Rocco, Mark Rocco's director's dad, was in it.
Yeah.
Great cast, and then I've never had a bad time really on any movie I think I've worked on. I've always found my own fun, even if we were kind of like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
you find a way to make your own good time.
Yeah. Another one who was in Scenes from the Gold Mine was Pamela Springsteen, and she was a high school. She was a high school friend of my dad's. They went to San Mateo High together.
Oh, really? All right. Yeah, I saw Pam not so long ago. After a long period of time, because Pam and I were actually in an acting class together, so we got to know each other. It was a little bit before that movie, but we were friends prior, and just saw her recently. She's doing great. She has a beautiful daughter, and she's, her photography is some of the pictures of Bruce you see, but I mean, she's taking many people. She's really talented that way.
Yeah, I reached out to her about 2 years ago, and I let her know that, I'm Tommy Kovac Jr. and all that stuff, and she was like, oh, God, tell your father I said hi. It's been way too long. He was the nicest guy I ever knew. And I was like, oh, thank you so much.
That's good to hear about your dad.
Yeah. I just hope eventually she starts doing podcasts and conventions. I know that she's so wrapped up in her photography, though,
Yeah, she is. But she's kind of she keeps a low profile, man, I think.
Yeah, I think her brother may have something to do with it, too, because, everyone's like...
Yeah, Pamela's always kind of shy.
Yeah.
Really a lovely person, though. Love her.
Yeah. And then I love National Lampoon's Joy of Sex.
It's funny because that was the same year, not long after Valley Girl came out. We started on that, and it was the same director, Martha.
Yep.
Bigger budget, Paramount, and I was like, wow, man, But and I'm glad you like it. I mean, we were doing it. I thought it would be a lot funnier than it actually turned out to be. I know there was an issue from Martha, and she didn't get to edit it or have anything to do with the editing. Mm-hmm. I know she didn't enjoy the same freedom that she enjoyed on Valley Girl with that. A lot was dictated to her. But again, we had a fun group of people, and we certainly made the best of it. But I'm glad you liked it. I haven't seen that one in a long time. But.
Yeah, I talked to Lisa Langlois, and I told her, I told her, I didn't know what the G-spot was until she talked about it in this movie, and then she laughed out loud when I said that.
So glad when movies are educational like that. That's a good thing.
Yeah. And I also interviewed Carol White, and she told me about that scene where she's taking your clothes off.
Oh, yeah. Carol, God, I haven't seen her in a long time. Yeah, that's funny. That was a workout, I remember. Yeah.
I just love that. It's so great. How was making Body Rock?
Body Rock, wow. That's funny, on paper. It was actually a good script on paper.
Mm-hmm.
It was interesting, the presentation, and we had great dancers, some Michael Jackson's dancers, a lot of them. And Robbie Mueller shot it, who, at the time, he was non-union. I mean, that's how we got him. He shot Wim Wenders films. I mean, he was great. I mean, we had some makings of really, some good. Ray Sharkey was in it.
Mm-hmm.
They cast, the leads, me included, I think were a very kind of homogenized, Lorenzo Lamas, who's a friend, I know him.
Yeah.
But I mean, it should have been like, I played the DJ. The DJ should have been, I forget who the big DJ was then. The culture that I learned about as I was doing it.
Yeah.
It was not my background as far as, rap or what became hip hop, actually. It wasn't even called that then. But anyways, yeah, so the lead characters, I don't know if they were written to be those of us who ultimately play those characters, which I think were kind of a scrubbed up version. So I'm saying, for me, a lot of the grit that I saw on paper was not ultimately in the movie, but it had a really cool look to it. I not so long ago, somebody contacted me and said, hey, we have this thing on Friday night, I forget what they called it, where we show a movie and we all know the dialogue inside and out. We've seen it so many times, and we take the piss out of it.
Yeah.
Will you show up and talk? I was like, and this guy was like, no. And I thought, wait a minute, it's down the street. This actually sounds kind of fun. And I had a ball. I mean, I hadn't seen the movie in forever. But also, they did. They knew every line and were, like Rocky Horror. So, like, you just fill in the blanks and riff on it. And had a couple of beers, had a great time that night. So.
Yeah. Did you?
And we got to go to New York for a couple of weeks. That was kind of cool, too, I remember.
Yeah, did you at least know while you were making it that it was going to turn out to be like a 90-minute music video?
That's a time when everything was becoming that. I know that Prince was doing Purple Rain at the same time.
Yeah.
There were some people on the crew who had worked that film and had just finished it. So I was aware he was making that, and yeah, MTV was just finding its legs. So it made sense. And then, I mean, for a few years there, anything to do with music became kind of a video. So I guess to some degree, and, a lot of dancers, it was really, it was kind of a musical on film, more or less.
Yeah. And Ray Sharkey, what a talented guy he was.
Dan, yeah. The Idolmaker I saw at some point. He was so great in that. An interesting guy. I didn't get to know him that well. He was,
yeah.
I don't blame him. It's like, who are these kids? He didn't give me attitude or anything, but I wish I could have gotten to know him better. So I admired him as an actor.
Yeah, my grandmother loved him on Wise Guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. One of my favorite movies of all time is Fraternity Vacation.
Yeah. That was, man, we almost broke the fun meter on that one. It was, Tim was a friend from school, and I think we both did it just to go down to Palm Springs and blow it out, just have a good time. I think we both just broken up with girlfriends, and so we went to Palm Springs. It was like, we were like frat guys on vacation, and partied a lot.
Yeah.
I could go into detail about that, but I'll just say we damn near broke the fun meter on that one. A lot of fun. Almost too much fun at times. We took our work seriously as we do, but with the weekend thing, we had our spring break.
Yeah.
And I remember I was all excited because Jim Frawley was the director. He directed the Monkees. I was like, that's cool.
The Muppet movie. Yeah.
And who else was in that? Again, it was a good group of people. At that time in the 80s, there was kind of I'd say there was a kind of core of people that would kind of go film to film, those kind of films to those kind of films.
Yeah.
I'll say late night cable stars a decade later,
Yeah.
Anyways, but yeah, good group, and again, a good time.
Yeah, Kathleen told me, she was nervous to get naked in front of you guys, but Barbara assured her that everything would be all right.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yeah, they were brave to do that, and if I think back now, that was, 30 years ago? More, 35.
35, yeah.
The way the culture's changed, and I won't get too into, the current climate of...
Oh, we know.
But we do know, and I'm saying, back then it was different. So, I do I'll take my clothes off for those women, not just my hat, but, they were brave back then. And I don't think any unwanted shenanigans went on back then with that movie, but yeah, it's a different world now, and they were soldiers, I'll say, their own way, fire their courage.
Yeah, when people bring that movie up to Barbara Crampton at conventions, she just cringes.
Yeah.
I've seen it myself. The first time I met her, she was kind of scared of me, right? But then she found out through mutual friends that I was a great guy, and ever since then, she loves it whenever she sees me.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah.
It's good. You're bringing up a lot of names of people that I've not seen in forever. And of course, I can conjure them up in my head, and we're all kind of in our mid-20s running around, naked. But anyways, it's good to hear their names even. It's just, a couple of lifetimes ago, actually.
Yeah. How about working on Stranded?
Well, that was an interesting movie because this is what I remember about it. It was the same location every night in Monroe, which is out there, geographically towards kind of where I'm coming from now. I'll say east of Pasadena, and I've lived here a long time. I should be able to kind of just spell it over. But the point is this: I was living in Venice at the time, Venice Beach, and it was a night shoots for 5 weeks, I think. So I would drive there in rush hour traffic, going east past San Bernardino to Monrovia, stay all night, same location every night, and then drive home in rush hour traffic to get home to Venice. And all night long, the story was these aliens who inhabited this house in South Carolina, this kind of crazy, and I would keep thinking, am I dreaming this? Or it was kind of surreal. In hindsight, that story was there was an interesting parallel because Joe Morgan was in it. Joe Morgan played the new sheriff of a town in South Carolina.
Yeah.
South Carolina. But of course, the South, where he's regarded as somewhat alien himself for being an African American man, and especially at that time. So there was a parallel that was interesting to me in that movie, just on a deeper level. But otherwise, it was fun. I mean, Flea was an alien in that.
Yeah.
And he was a lot of fun. Who else was in that? Ione Skye. It was like one of her first movies, I think.
Yeah, she's still out there.
Sullivan, who was famous for, being Jane in Tarzan films, for one.
Yeah.
Mia Farrow's on. So, again, another interesting group of people in that. A lot of good, just actors that I knew from other projects I'd worked in or seeing them around or seeing them in things. So that it was fun. But the crazy thing for me was the commute and just, the surreal driving home, same place every night after being surrounded by aliens in a house with stuff there. And I was a cop.
Yes, Susan Barnes, I talked to her a year ago. She said she loved making this movie, she said.
Yeah, she came in, she was placed somebody, I remember. So yeah, she jumped in and was good.
Yeah, she's a very nice lady. Any good stories about working on Out of the Dark?
Out of the Dark, wow. That was, another interesting group of people. I'm still in touch with Greg DeFelice, who co-wrote that. We're still friends. Again, I've got a crazy group of people, and that's kind of what drew me to it. Like Cora was in it. I run into Bud sometimes. Karen Black. I mean, people that I revered from, this odd movie or that odd movie. And plus Paul Bartel was part of it, and, Eating Raoul was in. He made those kind of cool, odd movies.
Yeah.
Divine. It was Divine's last movie.
Oh, yeah.
Playing a man, interestingly enough.
Yeah.
It was a kooky group of people. They'd made a film prior to that. I can't remember the name of it now. But at that time, I'd never done a horror film. In fact, I think it's the only horror film I've done.
Mm-hmm.
And so it was fun to do that and, be the bad guys. I haven't seen it. But it was a lot of fun. Again.
Yeah, Jeffrey Lewis was in it. What a great guy. What a great actor he was.
Yeah. So, you had people like that. Great actors just kind of tucked in there. I haven't seen that one in a long time. They're bringing up things that I'm like, oh, that.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one in a long time, too.
It's got kind of a low-key release. It was interesting because it was intended to be kind of a black comedy.
Yeah.
I think it was kind of uncertain as to what it wanted to be, a horror film or a black comedy. And one can certainly work with the other, but I think it leaned more into the thriller. So that was my take on it anyway. And I should see it again to kind of back myself up on that. But
yeah, it might be on YouTube or something.
Somewhere.
Yeah. Another favorite of mine is Men at Work.
That was a blast. That was like a frat party because it was all guys pretty much.
Yeah.
Except for Leslie Hope.
Yeah, Leslie Hope.
Who's lovely. She was neat. But and again, I came in last minute replacing, I forget who I was replacing. But they called me and said, hey, you want to do this? And I'm like, yes, I'm in. I remember I had really long hair at the time that I didn't feel like cut, so I put it on. I actually predated Ace Ventura. I predated Jim Carrey. I wanted like that. I wanted that stack. It was the character was kind of the nemesis to Charlie and Emilio's characters. They're all garbage men, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, what's some just physical sight gag I can make out of this guy? So I kind of just made him the most classless guy I could think of. And the other thing I remember is I made him a germaphobe because he was garbage. There was something about that appealed to me. And he wore crystals around his neck. I just goofy stuff, or whatever I could think of, just jumping into it. But that was a lot of fun as well. Just, a lot of guys hanging out.
Exploding airbags with shit in them.
Yeah, that's funny. We did that once, that particular scene, and it was a one-take thing because it was going to, obviously make an exploding mess, and went with it. But what happened was it didn't blow. The visual should have been kind of on my face.
Yeah.
Whereas it got me kind of mid-body. And of course, we played it, and just ran it. But then I think when they were screening it, it was, got a lot of laughs, and they're like, we got to do it again. I'm like, really? And this is months later. In fact, if you look really closely, the second blast, my hair has been cut much shorter. It's later in the year.
Yeah.
And I did put my face right in it that time and really got blasted. I mean, immediately they put us in showers and just, it was like a combination. The shit was like with chocolate and cornflakes and stuff that, duplicate the texture. And I had a cornflake in my eye. But anyways, we blasted it out. And, whenever I seen it, I laugh.
Yeah.
I'm a sucker for physical comedy anyways, anything like that. So, yeah, we did it a second time because it worked so well the first time. And, a lot of people, when they bring my role up in that film, typically the first thing they mention is the shit blasting scene.
Oh, man, that's classic. Did you already know Emilio and Charlie?
I loosely knew Emilio, didn't know Charlie. I'll say this, Emilio is such a great, he's such a great guy.
Yeah.
And but I was really impressed with that film. It's the only time I've worked with him, but he just set a really good atmosphere. It was a really just a good, easy, and I have known a few of these directors. Tim Van Patten's another one who just makes everybody feel so good about being there. You know? And knows enough about everybody's job and what they're doing and making them, and especially when you're working low budget, that really is the secret, boys and girls. Make your people get them interested in the story you're telling. This is the story we're telling. We've got this much. And if you're smart, somebody works this job, give them this job up here. And say, have you ever tried this? Would you want to do this? Yeah. They're going to want to prove it. But I'll just going back to Emilio, he just really was a great guy. And everybody was willing to throw down and do anything for him. There was one funny story I remember with Charlie, who, at the time, Charlie was getting big. I mean, he'd done Wall Street, I think, and Martin came by, their dad, which is great, having him hang around, great stories he had. But there was one night we were filming at a gas station, and, the cops are around for security, and mid-scene, Charlie's in it, the cops throw handcuffs on Charlie and put him in a car and take him away. And the story that went down was that, Charlie'd gotten in a fight the night before at a bar. Some guy said something, punched him out. And Martin's like, just kind of throwing the hands up. And I was like, well, what do we do now? And then, of course, 15 minutes later, the police brought him back, and they were all laughing. It was something they'd set up, and it was a pretty good setup, though.
Yeah. So you've kept working in movies and TV, but the other night in email you told me that you were working in a prison.
Yeah, that's where I'm driving away from now. I mentioned, doing that work with the Actors Gang. Occasionally, like I say, we'll go in, we'll teach this form of commedia, and it gets them, out of themselves. And like I say, it's a good form of rehabilitation. Gives them a better sense of themselves. I say, play your feelings so they don't play you, kind of teaching them that. This is where I'm coming from now. It's kind of a sister organization called Jail Guitar Doors. And so this work that I do in prison is leading songwriting workshops. Oh. So I go in and work with, there's some good musicians in prison, believe me. But whether they are, they aren't, are guys that can be singers, they don't have to be. We bring in a bunch of guitars and cajones and get them writing. I give them a topic every week to write about. They come back. I really get them kind of to invest in their words. And then put them in groups and make sure that they all kind of have input. So it's not just one guy going, all right, you do this, you do. So they all have a piece of it. And then, to break it down, it's putting 5 guys in a group, and music is the glue, but it's 5 guys solving a problem within an hour and a half. And at the end of the hour and a half, they present songs to each other, and they feel good about it, feel good about themselves, and, they say, I get to go home. And it's a form of service that I've kind of embraced, and I'm doing it more these days. And I'm just coming from that now, so that's how we're able to talk.
So, do you initiate this program, or do they come to you?
No, sorry. This program started by way of Wayne Kramer, back before your time. There was a band called MC5.
Oh, yes.
In the early, you know MC5?
Yeah, they're from Detroit.
Now
yeah.
It's funny. They've had now a surge of they're kind of credited as being the godfathers of punk rock.
Yeah.
Because they were, I mean, I was young when they were around 7th grade, I think. They were just, I described them as like the scare the shit out of your band in the early 70s. Scare the shit out of your parents' band, the early 70s.
Yeah.
They were just radical. I mean, they were politically radical.
Kick out the jams.
Yeah, Kick Out the Jams.
Yeah.
And their first album was a live album. I mean, and they were from Detroit. In Detroit, I came from Toledo. It was around the time that those guys were getting going. That area just had that edge, that Detroit edge. It was the auto industry. I mean, that kind of came through in the form of rock and roll back there. But anyways, Wayne Kramer, who was the founder of that band, one of the last, I think, the drummer's still around, but otherwise the last surviving member of the band. And I'm sure Wayne's fine with me telling you, but Wayne did some time himself, later 70s, after the band imploded. Actually, he's got a great book that describes the whole thing called The Hard Stuff. Just read it not so long ago. Mm-hmm. But he had done that, got sober, got clean, and Billy Bragg is a singer-songwriter in England. Kind of I call him like punk troubadour. Mm-hmm. A big Clash fan, but he's a folk guy, really. But he sings it with, gusto, I'll say. Yeah, what I strive for when I play folk, it's like you sing from the gut. If you're singing you're singing rock and roll, but you're playing folk music. Anyway, so Billy Bragg in England had this program. Jail Guitar Doors was a Clash song where they initially wrote the song about Wayne being put away for selling cocaine. If you listen to the words. And so Billy came to Wayne and said, hey, you know this song's about you, and B, you know the inside, and you're a musician, and you should take, this, what I'm doing, Jail Guitar Doors, and start it over there in the States, which Wayne did, I think about 10 years ago now. You can look up Jail Guitar Doors online and get the whole history, if I'm bastardizing any of it. But anyway, so it's run by Wayne, and there are, we work in prisons across the country. And I today was down in Chino, and I work up in Lancaster. So I do work with those guys as well as the Actors Gang. I'm still in it as an actor. I'm still in it as a singer-songwriter, musician. It's just kind of another, because you get older and branches grow from you. It's like, there's this too. So, anyways, this has come on strong the last couple of years. But it feels good. Like I say, if anything, I'm kind of remembering these guys to who they are. I say that's kind of my job. Besides the guy who did that, or inmate number, blah, 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 blah. A lot of these guys are willing to make the change. In other words, kind of accept what they did, take responsibility for it, and change. Some of them aren't getting out of there, but they can be of service within the walls of that place. And a lot of them have chosen to do it. And it's inspiring to see them when they do it, and inspiring to be a part of it, I'll say.
Yeah, that's wonderful. God bless you. I'm glad that, you're doing your passion and also inspiring people, they can be right in front of you and you can inspire them,
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Do you have any upcoming projects that you can talk about?
The things, I've just been kind of getting back into film, actually. Never left the stage, done a lot of theater locally here in LA and around the area throughout the years. But just kind of getting back into film a little bit. And last couple of things I've done have been short films, which I kind of think are the wave of the future, really, with people's attention spans.
Yeah.
I think when you can show somebody in 10 and 15 15 minutes. Not that the long form will go away, because I'm always game for sitting down for, a couple of hours, even if it's 3 or 3.5, if it's good.
Oh, yeah.
But I think a lot of short films are being made, and some good ones. And two that I've recently made are kicking ass in all kinds of festivals. And one was called Pine Box. Actually, some people from the Actors Gang, some guys from there were in it. Really a great little piece. I just saw it the other day. It was part of a festival here in Hollywood. And another one called The Get Together, which Lance Guest is in as well. Mm-hmm. It was good. It was just 4 of us. And that just won something. I mean, I keep hearing about, this just won that. So, both of those are out floating around. That's called The Get Together. It's funny. And it should be coming out on Amazon Prime, I guess, from what I heard. Pine Box, I don't know. Either one of those you can probably look up and find somewhere in some form. But anyways, the TV film thing, just kind of reemerging. So, I'm in my, 9th, 10th hour. Stay tuned.
Oh, that's so awesome, Cameron. I'm glad you're out there still working and still doing what you love. And I thank you.
Thank you, brother.
I thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. This was such a great honor.
Yeah, and I didn't, music I could talk about for an additional hour, but there is that too. I think there's some recording I'm doing now. There's stuff out there. Cameron Dye and the Match Fingers. I believe there's some stuff out there. There's an EP's worth, but a long-standing album of that band is being put together as we speak. So there'll always be that stuff too. Actually look for some stuff, potentially some upcoming films. Hopefully they're at the end and you're like, oh, he wrote that. So, that's kind of coming into the mix too. So life just keeps getting better in general.
Awesome. Well, you have yourself a great night over there.
Tommy, thank you. And say hey to Redding and the folks up there, and thanks for getting in touch.
My pleasure, sir. You have yourself a great night.
All right, man. Bye.
Okay, bye. Well, there you have it. Cameron Dye. Ain't he a cool dude? Wow, just a really great guy. Lots of great wisdom, great stories about movies and music. And he's inspiring a lot of people who are in a really messed up situation there, and that's so great. If you like this video, everyone, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, add me as a friend on Facebook, join my Tommy Kovac comedian page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and all that fun stuff. Well, that's all time we have this week on Splat from the Past. Until next time, this is Tommy Throwback Kovac saying, there's no shame in living in the past, because the present sucks. Later, dudes!